mother warned me that there might come a time in my life when a man or a teenage boy would put me in a car and then drive like a maniac to try to scare me. And she instructed me, if that happens, to stay very, very calm, to act unimpressed, to act like I wasn't frightened, and then at the nearest traffic stop, to get the fuck out of that car. And the reason she told me this was not because it wouldn't be a frightening situation, not because it was okay, not because it was fair, but because she said, do not make it fun for him. Realize that if a man does this, he is doing this to scare you. It is not that he doesn't know how to drive. It is not that he doesn't know it's dangerous. It's not that he didn't pass his driver's test. He is doing it to scare you. And if you don't make it fun for him, he will stop. And this similar advice turned around one of my coaching clients' abusive boss in 2 weeks. Now, 2 weeks is very fast for this. I'm not making a 2-week guarantee. It usually takes a little longer. But this, essentially what my mother was advising, is gray rocking. It's not giving more than the bare minimum. It's not acknowledging and responding in a way that they want you to. When people at work are baiting you with their passive aggressiveness, with antagonizing you, they are trying to set you up on purpose. I'm not saying that people don't accidentally ruffle feathers. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you know. People with narcissistic and or psychopathic traits enjoy the reaction. So even if you pop off and tell them about themselves, they're still winning. And then they're going to use that in white collar culture, which is very upper middle class white culture, of you don't handle conflict directly, if you don't have power anyway, to make you look like the bad guy. And I'm not saying that doesn't take energy. I'm not saying it's fair, but I am saying that not learning these skills is not protecting yourself, and it's not teaching them a lesson. It's actually letting the status quo continue. And I hope that this commenter has ways of her own that she is able to navigate this, but a lot of us don't. Because something else I had from my childhood that I had to unlearn was that I just never bothered with people. Like, I never put the energy in. I was like, whatever, I'm not going to fight to be somewhere that doesn't want me. If I ignore you, you'll go away. That's not always the case. In some cases, a lot of cases, ignoring someone tells them that that behavior is acceptable. And there's a difference between ignoring and gray rocking, which is to be as interesting as a gray rock. To give the bare minimum. Because also if you ignore, you're at risk of looking hostile, like you're not doing your job. To just yes, no, short answers. Treat it like you are being cross-examined in a court of law. Do not give extra information. Do not show emotions on your face. Do not, nothing. Just neutral. And I have a client who's gone through hell with this boss, playing all these games and bending over backwards, it seemed, to try to make her life hell. She started gray rocking, being as uninteresting as possible. Within 2 weeks, it wasn't fun anymore. Usually takes longer. They usually escalate first. She was prepared to document because they're just feeding your file at that point. But it works. Sometimes the very, clap back, have them meet Jesus is actually what they want. But they're not going to come across that way, because then you're not going to do it. If you want to learn more about this, I have in my coaching program, Clapbacks at Work. That is part of what I do, is navigating this culture clash of handling conflict and how to handle it in a way that doesn't continue the harm, doesn't just say, oh, this is fine, but also doesn't give them what they want, because they're rage baiting you in real life. Rage bait is not new. Term we're using it online, but it is part of everyday office culture.